Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into Khan's really fascinating novel, Resonantia, A Whisper to Be. It kicks off with what looks like a simple job for Amira, the ghostwriter. She's helping a Mr. Rafiq with his memoir, but very quickly it morphs into this deep psychological mystery. It really gets you thinking about memory, how identity forms, and, well, the huge impact of trauma.
Absolutely. And our mission for you today really is to unpack how that ghostwriting process itself, this very act of trying to capture a life, ends up diagnosing something much deeper. It reveals this really fractured psyche, this protective persona that Rafiq has built. You're going to question what truth even means, especially in the context of someone's life story.
Right, so the ghostwriting isn't just like the setup, it's the actual tool that uncovers everything. How does Amira go from just taking notes to becoming this investigator?
Well, it's interesting because she starts off, professionally, trying to map things out, get the facts straight. But Rafiq's memories, they're just not straightforward.
Yeah.
They're inconsistent, kind of chaotic. So she evolves, yeah. The analysis calls her an astute psychological investigator. She starts charting what the book terms his messier kinds of memory. She's looking between the lines.
And she doesn't just rely on what he says, right?
Yeah.
She actually goes looking for outside proof, that newspaper clipping, for instance.
Exactly. That's a huge turning point, finding external verification. She goes to the municipal archive, digs up this old news story about a house fire, something Rafiq is vague and contradictory about. And that discovery makes her realize there are basically two memoirs happening at once. There's The Life He Knows, which is the story Rafiq tells himself.
Okay.
And then there's The Life That Knows Him. The deeper, maybe unconscious truth simmering underneath. She kind of forces it out without even meaning to.
And Rafiq, wow. He's such a difficult figure to pin down. The contradictions are everywhere, aren't they? Like denying pets. Then suddenly this vivid memory of a dog, Milo. Or the details of the fire constantly changing. And he has these ways of deflecting, these poetic phrases like, memory edits its own footnotes. Does he even realize he's doing it? Or that there might be this other voice?
That's the core question, isn't it? It seems like he's genuinely unaware of some of these edits, as he puts it. He's sort of lost within his own narrative, which, makes you wonder, if memory is that changeable, what is the actual truth and who or what is pulling the strings? And this brings us to Leena.
Leena. Yeah. At first she feels almost like background noise, just atmosphere.
Right, but she's revealed to be absolutely central, a psychological construct, a protective one. The book calls her a voice behind the veil. Her way of speaking is different and more poetic, emotive, and her purpose is just stark. She says, I did not lie. I replaced.
I did not lie. I replaced. That's incredibly powerful. But doesn't that raise questions about healing? I mean, wouldn't facing the raw, unedited truth, however awful, be the real path forward? How does the book handle that?
That's where Resonantia gets really interesting and maybe challenges some standard ideas about healing. Leena is described as a mother he rebuilt from ashes. Her whole function is survival refutes survival. She replaces the traumatic memories. The novel seems to argue that for really deep trauma, like this fire, the replaced truth isn't deceit. It's framed as a necessary therapeutic construct.
A construct for survival.
Yeah. Leena even says, I carry what he can live with. It suggests the mind isn't just coping, it's actively creating a reality that allows the person to keep going. It's pretty profound.
So Amira is now dealing with these two distinct voices, these two narratives inside one person. How does she even begin to untangle that? Is there, concrete proof she finds?
Well, she starts to clearly distinguish the two styles. Rafiq's core voice is described as flat, factual, guarded, very controlled. And then there's Leena's influence, gentler, less angled, softer. But the real breakthrough, the undeniable proof, is what the book calls the unauthored page.
An unauthored page, what does that mean?
It's a piece of writing. It just appears in Leena's style. And Rafiq absolutely denies writing it, vehemently. But it's clearly connected to him, to his deeper self. It becomes this undeniable sign of Leena's direct intervention. A message from that hidden part of his psyche. The fragmented writing itself mirrors his fragmented mind, you see.
Wow, okay. This deep dive into Resonantia really shows the incredible lengths the human mind will go to for self-preservation, doesn't it? Creating these whole protective realities.
Absolutely. It's about how we rewrite our own stories to survive. And the book doesn't offer easy answers. There's no simple cure presented. It ends with Amira asking this really haunting question. She wonders, what if he does want to break through? And if he does, what happens to Leena then?